temperament is the way you are born, the way God created you. So here we're talking about genes, and we're talking about the genes of your 2 parents and your 4 grandparents. The main thing why we need to know our temperament, it's because when you don't know who you are, then you can't even know your strength and also your weaknesses. They seek useful and productive values in life. Like, you can never find a choleric doing something that is not of importance. Like, in the society, they want to make sure that there is peace where they are. They want to know who can we help and how can we help. Like, in the family, you will never find a choleric having things and you find their family failing. They know really how to work for the family. Yeah. So it's rare to see a choleric husband like failing to take care of a home. It's really rare, because that is one of the things that motivate them. They wake up very early to make sure that their family is well. Yes, achiever and successful person. They are really successful in life because they work hard. If you're married to a choleric and probably you're an introvert man, oh my God, I am praying for you, because you may think that this person they are open and honest. These are the people who are honest. Actually, you'll never see a choleric who does not tell the truth. A choleric will tell you things how they are. If you are lazy, they will tell you, you know what, you are lazy. I want you to work hard. If you are married to a choleric woman, oh my God, you feel somehow frustrated. But that's how they are. It's not because they are bad people, but that's how they are wired. That's how God created them. And when it comes to the work of God, oh my God, they are very, very effective and hardworking. Yeah, so what are the weaknesses of a choleric husband? Greetings to you all. This is Dr. Doreen. Back to our channel. Please subscribe, share, and like. I want many people to know that we are here to help as a counselor, and there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to work on. So we are still on temperaments. Last time we talked about sanguine, and we explained about it. So probably if you just got here on this one, let me just give a little bit of a explanation, or I mean a definition of what temperament is about. Some people call it personality, but it becomes a personality when you also involve the environment where you grow up from, because the environment also shapes us, and we learn a lot from people. So temperament is the way you are born, the way God created you. So here we're talking about genes, and we're talking about the genes of your 2 parents and your 4 grandparents, both maternal and paternal. So you are a product of that. Yeah, but the main thing why we need to know our temperament, it's because when you don't know who you are, then you can't even know your strength and also your weaknesses. So we are sharing today, but we are focusing on marriage and family, because there are really challenges that we are facing, and especially with how people think, how people behave, how people react on things. So it is very unfortunate that not all people know these things, and we are also here to help you. For those who are getting married, we do premarital counseling, also to teach a lot of things, yeah, and also temperament, also inclusive. So right now, allow me to talk about the choleric. So we know that there are 4 types of temperaments. We have sanguine, as we shared in the, before. We have cholerics, we have phlegmatic, we have melancholic. So all these things are very important. You know, people, sanguine can get married to a melancholic and they have a good family. The sanguine can get married to a choleric. It becomes a bit hard. Yeah, it's really hard because they are 2 strong personalities. Yeah, but choleric with phlegmatic really works well. and also melancholic. So the introverts, which are sanguine and choleric, they're really strong characters. And then melancholic and phlegmatic, they are introverts. So these are reserved people, but the other ones are outgoing, spoken, you know. Yeah, so today we want to talk about the choleric, which is a red in color. And you know, color red is really strong. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the introduction. So please reach out to us if you really need our help in terms of counseling. So how do a choleric man or husband behave, you know? So choleric is a hot, quick, and active. They are practical people. They are really, we call them doers because they are really active. You can never find a choleric who is really dormant. Like, they are very active at home. They are really active. They don't even rest. You find them doing this, that, you know, fixing things at home. And, you know, they are not these people even who take much time at home, because they are outside, like, working, making sure that they fix problems, because they really love solving problems, you know. Yeah, so they are very, very active people. Yeah. So he's self-sufficient and very independent. They're really independent people. Like, they make their own decisions. Like, so it's even becomes hard at home, you know, because these are the people who make decisions. Like, they make decisions for themselves. They make decisions for everyone in the family. Like, they know what is good for them. So that is how strong they can be. But it is positive because, you know, when you're not independent, sometimes you need other people to push you. But these ones, they push themselves when they know what they want. Yeah, so they tend to be decisive and opinionated. Yeah, they make their own decisions. They know what is good for them. They have their own opinions. Like, when it comes to something they want to do, they really do it with energy. Yeah, and it is very, very important. So at home, there are these people who want to, when they're working, they really want to build with the capacity that they have. Yeah, they want to their children to have a better life. So they're really good when it comes to family. They're very, very active. Yeah, so okay, they are capable of making sound, like their voice is easily heard. Like, they know how, when they're talking, they know how to make sure you understand what they are saying. Like, their sound is easily heard by the spouse, by the children. Yeah, so they know how to exert that sound. Yeah, another thing is that they seek useful and productive values in life. Like, you can never find a choleric doing something that is not of importance. Like, in the society, they want to make sure that there is peace where they are. They want to know who can we help and how can we help. Like, in the family, you will never find a choleric having things and you find their family failing. They know really how to work for the family. Yeah, so it's rare to see a choleric husband, like, failing to take care of a home. It's really rare, because that is one of the things that motivate them. They wake up very early to make sure that their family is well. Yeah, so that is positive. When it comes to finances, he is an achiever and successful person. Yes, achiever and successful person. They are really successful in life because they work hard. And then when it comes to spirituality, these are the people who are really committed, you know, and they are builders. Like, at church, they build other people. They want to encourage other people to become better people, to be who God says they should become. They really feel bad to see someone being weak and you're not productive, because they thrive on production. That is it. Whether at work, whether at home, they thrive on production. So they want their children to wake up early. They work. They don't want these children who sleep and oversleep. They can't really be in that house. Whether it's a man or a woman, they don't like it. So their children are very, they should be organized, because they organize them. They have activities to do, whether school thing, whether home thing, but they are really organized. You will never find a child of a choleric at home redundant. No, they take them for games, they take them for more activities, you know. So they are really good at that. And you find even their spouses are really hardworking, because you can't live with a hardworking person and you stay the same. Somehow, somewhere, you have to improve, whether you're a phlegmatic or a melancholic. Yeah, so those are the good things about them. Yes, they're good leaders. They're very strong leaders. Actually, but they say they are born leaders. Yeah, they have that leadership in them wherever they are. Like, for example, if you would be in a group of people and probably the person who is supposed to lead the group is not yet there, the choleric is there to lead you until the person comes, because they don't want to waste time. They don't want to waste, because they are really busy. I have someone I know who is a choleric, but when you ask about their schedule, like the whole month is booked, or even a year, you know. Sometimes you call and like, I want to meet. He's like, you know what, I don't have time, unless they say they are really good in emergency, unless it's an emergency. But if there's no emergency, you will not see a choleric coming to see you when you don't have the appointment. Yeah, because they are really busy, and they mean it, they are busy. Okay. Yeah, so what are the weaknesses of a choleric husband? By the way, the cholerics, they are very busy people, to the extent when it comes to weaknesses, they are people who don't have time even for their spouses. They don't have time for their children. Like, they are telling you, know what, I'm making money to make sure my family is well. But that is a big weakness, because you can imagine, if you're working for your family, then why not giving them time? Why don't you spend time with them? Why don't you know what is going wrong? Because you know why? Because their emotions are not developed. Actually, that is the big thing with cholerics. Their emotions are not developed at all. So that is why they work, they don't take much of the time to know how the family is doing. These are the people who are not going to ask their wife, how is your life? How have you been all this time? Like, they don't know how to ask those things. So if you're married to a choleric, just know that you need to pray and you need to work on that. Even he has to work on it, so that he becomes a better person when it comes to emotions. So their children will always ask, but you don't care about us. You are not asking us how we are doing, because they wake up going to work and they come late in the evening, or even at night. They might even sleep at work because they are really busy. Yeah, so another thing is they don't have sympathy. They are not these people who want, they don't want to see you crying. No. They hate actually tears. They don't want you to cry, you know. If you want something, talk nicely, don't cry. But when you bring tears, they dislike it. Yeah, so those are the ones. So his most serious weakness is anger. They are really, when it comes to, when you have a problem with the choleric, the anger is a big issue. When they get angry, for them to be healed, for sure, it takes time. So if you're a choleric and you're struggling with anger, please, you need help, and I know you can work on it and you get better. So those are just a few things. So let's talk about a choleric as a wife. Choleric as a wife, take charge, is a take charge woman. Yeah. Is this person at home who arranges the family. Like, if you're married to a choleric and probably you're an introvert man, oh my God, I am praying for you, because you may think that this person is kind of dominating the home, but in actual sense is not. But they love putting things in order. They want their spouse to know what they are doing. Like, they ask you, what is your program? What is your plan of this? So you have to be aware of how to deal with that person, because when they see you that you're weak, they might take you unserious. So There are these people who are serious. They want to know what the children are supposed to do. They want to know what the husband wants to do. The people at home, what are you doing? So if you don't have something to do, then they give it to you. Yeah, so they are courageous people. They are not really affected by anything. These are the people who work hard. Like if I mentioned the husband, they are almost the same as the wife, but just there are very few things that they differ, but in nature they are really the same. So courageous, these are the people who cannot be discouraged at all. If there's a problem at home, they know how to solve it. You can never see a choleric woman telling you that this is hard. They will work on it until it is done. They will look for people who can help them do it if they don't know how to do it, but anything is possible with them. Yeah, so they are determined. They're really determined. Whatever they do it with energy, and they can never fail. Yeah, so the crusader, I love, there are people who dislike injustice. So they can really have crusade to make sure that they tell people, they talk to people, and they tell them what is not working, and because they hate injustice, so they work on that. Yeah. Yeah, so they are productive. They want like if you're a husband to a choleric, please, you know that you should be productive. If things are not going right, you might have issues with that woman. So you should work hard. They are open and honest. These are the people who are honest. Actually, you'll never see a choleric who does not tell the truth. A choleric will tell you things how they are. If you are lazy, they will tell you, you know what, you are lazy. I want you to work hard. If you are married to a choleric woman, oh my God, you feel somehow frustrated, but that's how they are. It's not because they are bad people, but that's how they are wired. That's how God created them. And when it comes to the work of God, oh my God, they are very, very effective and hardworking, and they have to make sure that things are going well. So those are the strengths. So let me just talk a little bit of their weakness. So when they are healthy, they do all these things in a positive way. But when they are not healthy, then somehow they may do it not right. So when a choleric is healthy, is a good leader at home, like everything is really in place and is perfect. But when a choleric is not healthy, because of probably the atmosphere at home, they become bossy. Like they lead everyone with that nature. Like they become bossy. They control the husband. They control the children. Like somehow they even take them to depression, because that is how they are. So it's very important for a choleric to be healthy, for better. To have a good atmosphere at home. But when a choleric is really sick or unhealthy, these things happen. So that is where in Kinyarwanda, I think they normally say, umugore ni gishegabo, so in actual sense, that is a negative word, but let me be sincere with you. A choleric, when he's not healthy, might look igishegabo and might really look bad, but this is a nature. It's a nature. You need to love your wife if he's a choleric. Love that person. It will help you to develop many things at home, and even your lifestyle might change because they are really hardworking. And if you look at that person as a negative person and you probably don't appreciate who they are, then it might become a problem to you. So they are not really bad people, but they have that energy. Appreciate their energy and let it work for both of you, and definitely your children. So they are self-centered, they want always to make a decision depending on what they want. So you can imagine a man at home kind of being controlled by a woman. It looks so weird because they make their own decisions, so they also end up also making decisions for other people. So they are self-centered, like they want things to work their way, not other people's way. But I'm talking to you as a wife. If you know you're a choleric and this is how you behave, so you better work on yourself, because for you to have a better marriage and a better family, you need to understand that everything doesn't work the same way you are doing it. Okay? Yeah, so she's not very domesticated. So like there are not people who really take time at home. They normally want to go to do things outside because they always feel like at home things never change. Like it's the same routine thing, and you know they don't want to spend time on those routine things because they feel like they want to go out and solve people's problems. They meet, if they're Christians, they meet with people, they help people in their careers, they help people in their life with Christ. Like they are really there to make progress and make things work. So they don't want to stay much at home, you know, because they see things are almost the same. So I'm really asking, if you're a choleric and you know these things really happen to you, there are some things you need to talk about with your children, with your spouse, so they get to know you. And if there's something to change, then you change it. Okay? Yeah. She's frank and has a sharp tongue. Yeah. When it comes to talking, oh my God, the choleric wife is very eloquent. He knows how to express their emotions. They know how to talk about things. So it's very, very sometimes uncomfortable at home because people feel that they're the only ones who want to be seen and to take over, like, yo. So as I'm trying to summarize these things, there are very many things to work on, but as a wife at home, and you know that you have this nature, choleric, you need to ask God to help you. If you are a Christian, then you know that the Holy Spirit is going to help you. Let me give you an example of a choleric person we know in the Bible, and is a common figure. Is called Apostle Paul. Apostle Paul, the reason we see that Apostle Paul was very active, he has written many books, he has really preached the gospel to different places. He is a choleric. Cholerics really work hard. You know, when we compare Paul and other disciples, especially those who are with Jesus, we have seen that Paul has really done a tremendous work when it comes to gospel, because he is a choleric. And let me tell you, sometimes we read these books, the books of the apostles, we read the scriptures, but we don't interpret them as comparing to the person who God was speaking to. You know, there are things Paul has written, and some people, they really like, they don't understand them. Like, why did he say this? You know, because Paul was a choleric. He had a strong character. He's this person who spoke with confidence and with a kind of leadership in him. So whatever he said was kind of commanding. So when you read his books, because he reacted like a commander, you're like, now, how? But when you look at John was a different person. Actually, we will talk about John in other, when we were going to talk about introverts. So a choleric is a hard-working person. And when you look at the lifestyle of Paul, he's the one who said, you know what, sometimes you don't even have to marry. Do you know why he said that? It was not because he didn't want people to marry, but because of the independency he had in him, the courage, the power, the energy. He wanted to serve God with all that he is, you know. And this is not for a common thing for everyone. It is not easy for a sanguine to do the same, you know. We have seen Peter as a sanguine, and we talked about him. But when you look at him, he's not as hardworking as this one when it comes to preaching and all other things. So even when they were writing these books, there's kind of how Paul commanded things. And we still even sometimes we are like, even nowadays when we read Paul's books, sometimes we argue like, why did he say this, why this? But wherever he was, he would solve problems depending on how he would see the situation. So he's a good example of a choleric we can share in the Bible. He's hardworking, the way he would make decisions, the way he would go and stay somewhere for a long time. So you can imagine if you are married to a kind of a person, oh my God, I'm very sure it is really hard. Now imagine if he's a wife now. So I am advising you on this. It's a nature. Yes, it is good on one side when you're healthy, but when you're not healthy, it is a disaster. So I want you to work on yourself if you're choleric. We have the power of the Holy Spirit that normally channels things in the right direction. So remember, when Paul was not born again Christian, he was a killer. He used to kill people, and that was the side where he was unhealthy. But when he became healthy, he worked hard, he served God. Many people were reached too, and they had this the gospel. They changed. He's the one who went to preach the Gentiles. He really did great work. I remember when he was bitten by the snake, but because of his faith, he didn't even bother. Everyone was waiting to see him dying, but he did not die. He was so strong. He had strong faith in God. Let me tell you, choleric are very strong people. They can do tremendous work. Actually, when you have a choleric at home, when it comes to development, perfect. Yeah, so they tend to marry phlegmatics and melancholic because they can control them, When we talk about introverts, most of the introverts, they are dependent, not independent. So they easily work well with these people. So please reach out to us if you need more of help, especially when it comes to counseling. We are here to help you. And if you're getting married, it's good that we help you with premarital counseling so that you can understand each other and work on the side where you're weak. Yeah, so that is all about choleric. Work on yourselves. You become better people. Allow God to use you. Yeah, because there's a lot to do with you. It's a nature, but can be worked on. So God bless you so much.